Ladies and gentlemen, the day has come. Rachel Maddow is going gonzo from her daily MSNBC show. Let me throw up this article here. Rachel Maddow confirms MSNBC hiatus hints at more absences. Okay, so here are the specifics. She's taking a 2-month break. She's going to work on a movie with Ben Stiller where she's a director. It's some political movie. She's apparently going to be back for big events like Biden's State of the Union. I think that's on March 1st. She earns $30 million per year in her current deal with MSNBC, and that deal runs all the way through 2024. But apparently the deal permits Maddow to dial back her nightly hosting duties, and she's also going to do something with a podcast, pursue some podcast or whatever. I mean, it really does annoy me, whether it's Meghan and Harry who decided we're going to do a podcast, and then they literally did one, even though they got paid tens of millions of dollars for it. Or Rachel Maddow, or when Obama did a podcast with Bruce Springsteen, which was fucking terrible. Was it Bruce Springsteen? I think it was Bruce Springsteen. For the love of God, can the elites leave the people anything? Like, this was the realm of the people. Whether it's YouTube or podcasts, like, that's where you go if you're, some college dropout with a 5 o'clock shadow who's got opinions on stuff, but you're actually kind of charismatic, and you turn the microphone on and you build an audience, and it's lovely. And you end up becoming a top podcaster as a result of it. Like, this is the realm of the people. But now the elites are trying to get in on the fun. And the elites are trying to, I'm sure that all these systems are going to be biased in favor of them too, just like what happened on YouTube. Redirect now to the authoritative sources, MSNBC and CNN. Fuck all the, independent new media outlets. You guys have had your day. You're done now. It's a similar thing with this. So, Maddow, for the love of God, just leave the podcast to the podcasters, please. Leave it to us new media folks to do the new media stuff. God, it's so annoying. So MSNBC is shaking stuff up now. So Stephanie Ruhle is going to replace Brian Williams as host of MSNBC's late night news hour. And get this, I love this change. Morning Joe is going to get an extra hour. Morning Joe is already on for 3 hours. They're going to add a 4th hour. I got a million negative things to say about Maddow, but the fact of the matter is she was the highest rated on MSNBC, and I think it's highest rated by far. And so if she's gone, she's probably going to take a lot of her audience with her. And so MSNBC, yet again, is in dire straits. Because you know what? They don't have a philosophy. They don't have an ideology. The only driving force for them is to defend the Democratic Party and the establishment. And I got news for you. With the Democratic Party at like 32% approval rating or 35% approval rating or whatever it is, don't have too many supporters now, do you? And also, there's also the general problem that, Republicans on average are older. Older people tend to watch TV. Democrats on average are younger. They tend to not be as plugged into TV in particular. And so they have all these issues, all these, fundamental problems with their business model. And bottom line is, I think they're rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic here. And I don't know what direction they're going to go in, but I can guarantee you they're not going to go into the one direction that could make them genuinely interesting and give them good ratings. I love how CNN and MSNBC both just conceded the battle to Fox News, thinking, well, Fox News is always going to be number one. Imagine thinking like that. You have like a captive audience, and you still don't think you can compete with them. Well, you can't compete with them because your philosophy sucks. Fox News is just the Republican Party propaganda network, but they super serve their audience. Look, there is a giant untapped audience out there, which is people who are actually ideological and want to improve the country. So if you have people who genuinely care about the substantive issues and they're charismatic and interesting, that's how you get a big audience. But they're never going to go down that path. Why? Because of the incentive structure. Because then you'll upset the advertisers, and the advertiser dollars will dry up or be reduced massively. And the primary thing in their mind is to keep those advertiser dollars flowing. That's all they care about. So you're not going to have a fire breather on there who's screaming for Medicare for all and a $15 minimum wage and the PRO Act and ending the wars and UBI and all that stuff. It's never going to happen, even though that's the way out. Honesty, authenticity, fighting for the people, giving facts and information, charisma, never going to do it. Instead, they have the Russiagate fanatic conspiracy theorist who was number one, incredibly hyperbolic and sensationalist and partisan hack, but she was number one, and now she's slowly but surely stepping down, and so MSNBC will continue to be lost in the wilderness for an extended period of time. Sayonara, Maddow. There was a time when she was half decent. I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember during the Obama years, there was a time where she called out Obama for increasing the Afghanistan war, for doing the troop surge. There was a time when she was more honest and more committed to serious issues. And then that all went away. And she became, funny enough, left-wing Glenn Beck. Not left-wing, because she's not left-wing. Democratic hack Glenn Beck. That's what she became. Democratic hack Glenn Beck. And funny enough, she had said in a number of interviews previously that she thinks Glenn Beck is a phenomenal broadcaster in the sense that he's very entertaining. And so she looked at him as sort of like a model. Well, you did the model to a T, because you went all in on Russiagate conspiracy theory garbage, and that is how she gained her audience. Just like Glenn Beck gained that audience with the chalkboard conspiracy theories and the Marxism and Van Jones, and the Agenda 21 is the thing that they used to call it. Now they call it the Great Reset. Congratulations. You did the thing that you wanted to do. Just so happened to be absolutely terrible for the country. And, if you're interested in this topic more broadly, I suggest reading Matt Taibbi's book, Hate Inc., because that's a good modern-day breakdown of the media. You got to read the classic, got to read Manufacturing Consent, but also read Hate Inc. But goodbye, Rachel Maddow. You certainly won't be missed from me, that's for sure. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.